welcome to some more Naval Action. I thought today I'd talk a little bit about clans. I'm not talking about how you set up a clan, so tune out if that's why you're here, or how you run a clan. I'm really talking about, should you join a clan, what do clans do, are clans right for me, and can I play without being in a clan? So fundamentally, yes, you can always play without being in a clan. You can always be solo. Almost all MMOs support some notion of grouping. It's a very human thing to do after all. We're all very tribal. And to some extent, I think you're going to discover, my opinion is, the best way to enjoy a large open world MMO is by being part of a clan. And I actually think in early access, which is where we are now, that's even more true. And the reason I think that is because the clan brings a whole bunch of purpose beyond just the core game's raison d'etre or meta. So, you know, at its minimalist, all this game is fighting other ships so that you earn enough experience to get a better ship. Now, the graphics are lovely, the combat is fantastic, and whenever you're fighting, especially other people, but even well-coded AI, there's always a bit of a sort of difference to it, and that in itself is great fun. But what clans do is they bring community, and with community they bring a whole bunch of bonus elements. So I've been with a clan on the PvP2 server only for about a week, but I've been in guilds and clans in many other games, and I've run them myself in many other games in the past. I played a lot of World of Warcraft back in the day, and I was part of a very large clan, Play Now, and we ran together for 6 or 7 years, and I would say I've still got a dozen real life friends who I communicate with fairly regularly, and I know I've always got somewhere to crash if I'm in a particular state, or even various countries, to be honest. So one of the big benefits of being in any clan, and I think clan's a rubbish name, by the way, in ship world. I think they should be called fleets, or some other sort of more navally turn. Planks, I don't know, but certainly not clans. But anyway, clans sound like people running around with axes and wooden sticks knobbing each other on the head. You get lots of other people's inputs. Now that can be little things. It can be, where's the best place to buy fur logs, and someone's already found that out for you. It can be help. I'm getting my ass kicked by a bunch of nasties, please come and help sort them out. What clans can't fix is the fact that whenever I pick up a mission, it always seems to be up bloody wind. So last night in Naval Action, I jumped onto the clan I'm running with, Sons of Britain. They've got a very large community, 100 odd folks. You can see the clan members here. Green doohickey means they're online right now. It tells you the last time they were on, so most of these guys are playing a fair amount. And there's 170 odd in Sons of Britain. Perhaps half of them are active every day. And I jumped on TeamSpeak, and within about 10 minutes I found out a whole bunch of things I didn't know about the game, and this is particularly pertinent in an early access where you're short on tutorials. The rules of the game change every now and again with different patches, so I learned far more about setting up outposts in other cities, and the ins and outs of teleporting, and some of the best ways of making money and all these sorts of things. And then there's other folks in there who maybe give you great tips on combat, and you know, the best loadouts that they've found on various ship types and so on and so forth. So one of the primary reasons for being in a clan is just that. It's friends, or they become friends, who help you. And they help you initially with just knowledge, or if you like sailing in groups, it's much easier to get a group if you're in a clan. Often people are yelling out to form groups. There's these fleet battles, so here's a big wad of ships going past right now. Let's pretend they're French. You and a bunch of clannies could sort of gangbang that fleet and earn yourself way more experience than you ever do in missions. Clans can be small. They can be you and 3 mates, and that's absolutely fine. You get each other's backs, and as long as you're on regular, you can have a lot of fun doing that. Clans can be large and disorganized, so really it's just a larger pool of people. And this is the case with a few of the clans in Naval Action right now, some of them are really organized, and you know, they maybe have theatres of operation where they say, right, you know, this neck of the woods here is ours, and we're going to defend it, and we're going to kick the pants out of anybody who comes into this area. We're going to strike a deal with these guys down here because it's these guys over here we want to knock over, or whatever your clan's rules of engagement, or if you like, diplomacy is. And that kind of now brings an extra layer to the game that didn't take a drop of code. So all of a sudden, when you're logging on, your reason to be on isn't just to get your Cerebus, or get your Trink, or get your Constitution. It's because you and your clan have decided that that particular city there is going to be ours, and we're going to take it, and we're going to build outposts in it, and we're going to defend it. So it gives you another layer of reason to be, of raison d'etre for the game. And so that's fantastic. They can, of course, do things you don't agree with. So, you know, my clan has a bit of a semi-treaty with a large foreign nation clan. Now, personally, I'm not a big fan of this, but I'm not the leader of the clan, and that is part of being a clan, is you kind of have to fit in with their rules, if you like, their norms, and that can be a reason not to be in a clan, because you don't want someone telling you you're not allowed to knock over the Muppets of Dawn, or whoever this other clan is. And indeed, you might jump around clans until you find one that fits your playstyle. But as a rule, clans are better. Typically, hermits have not fared as well in society as villages and farmers and so on and so forth, because when times get tough, or you need more than you have, or you need advice, or you're in trouble, then having other people who to some extent are duty bound, and that is kind of what a clan is, who will come to your aid, or at least laugh at you, is a really big aspect of the game. The other thing you'll find with clans is they'll help each other out with crafting. Oh, I hate these missions. 2 against 1. They can help each other out with crafting, which is a really good thing. So maybe a couple of the clan members are, you know, crafty geeks, and you're more of a tradey geek, or you're more of a biffo punter. Then you can escort them on a trading run, and in return they'll build you a nice new ship, or they'll build you a module, or you lend them your crafting hours to get components made so they can build up ships and the likes. And this is the quid pro quo of a clan. Now, some folks don't like going in clans because the social aspect is a little bit challenging, and it is, you know. I mean, you might not have used TeamSpeak before, and you might be a little bit shy and a little bit embarrassed about being on TeamSpeak. So, a couple of things to note there. First of all, you're playing a computer game, alright? They're not seeing your face, unless it's a very sophisticated Skype-based clan that I don't know exists. You are your character. I'm Jeheil. And they don't know if I'm old or young, fat or thin, tall or short, gay or straight, black or white, if I'm a secret member of the Ku Klux Klan or the Communist Party. all I am in this game is Jeheil, and how I behave in this game is how they know me. So if you are normally in your outdoors life a little bit more socially introverted, to be honest, clans are for you. They only know you as your character, how you behave, so you can behave as a merciless, roughy-tufty, don't give a shit, chaotic type character, when in real life you see a spider and you're all over your chair screaming for your wife to come through and save you. But you can be whoever you want to be. Now, of course, that too is a double-edged sword. If you are a complete dick, that's all they'll ever know you as. They have no evidence to know that actually you're the chief financial officer of one of the world's largest companies, and you're a priest, and you're actually a really, really caring person. They've got no idea. They got no idea. And I know from my previous life, I'm currently with a large gaming guild, and they don't sort of stick to one game. They play a bunch of games called Unreal Aussies, and there's guys in there from every walk of life. There's doctors, there's truck drivers, there's writers, there's software engineers, there's husbands and wives, there's even single women. I know, you'd thunk it. So being with a large gaming group really does add in a whole bunch of sort of social benefits. Now, the other thing it adds in, of course, is that you can get involved in some of the really big organised events. So the clan I'm with, typically a couple of times a night, they'll do a big port invasion or port defence, and then some of the guys who are just in love with the game, and these are the guys for me who make the game really, they end up producing these battle reports. They look like something out of a 1750s news report, and you know, it just adds another layer of depth to the whole thing. I'm a huge fan of all these community-built websites. There's one of the guys in our guild, our clan, who's built a map that shows our area of operation and who we should be snotting and who we shouldn't, and so on and so forth. So, if you've been holding off joining a clan, if you're a little bit more of a lone wolf, that's fine. But I'd still recommend giving it a go. It's pretty easy to leave a clan. You can push one button and you've left the clan. That's it. That's all it takes. It's pretty easy to have fun on your own. For me, it does get less, or more repetitive, I should say. It doesn't get less repetitive. It gets more repetitive. And I really think a clan is a great opportunity to enjoy the game as it's been developed, but also the game at its second layer, which is how the community are playing it. I'll put the links in here, both for the clan I play with, which is the Sons of Britain. They play on PvP2, USA PvP2. And I'll also put the link in for the gaming community. It's an Australian-based, Pacific Rim, predominantly Australian-based gaming community, and I'd highly recommend giving a clan a go, taking advantage of what the sort of society that clans are at. Now, there's politics, don't get me wrong, there's always politics in a clan. There's always a dickhead who thinks he knows more, there's always a dickhead who does know more, there's always a guy who gets really upset because your position on cutters isn't the same as his, and he's offended, and his children's children are offended. That's just life. Or you leave the clan, or you sort of judiciously work against him and destroy his life in the clan. That's all the politics of clans. There's all the excitement of when a leader falls out of favour with his clannies, and there's coup-like activities take place. There's the drama of clans disbanding over some big argument. All of those things can happen, and I've just copped a leak. And some of them matter, and some of them don't. Like I say, one click and you can leave the clan. So, I that's about it really. If you've never really been in a clan before and you don't know how to participate in one, I strongly recommend joining one. You can participate at the lowest level, which is just through the in-game chat. Many of them have forums. You can get involved in the forums. That's another sort of fairly passive, very anonymous way to deal with it. Or if it's a bigger clan and they've got a TeamSpeak server or some other equivalent, you can get involved in that as well. And I'd highly recommend it. Given that you can click one button and leave, for me there's almost no downside. And that was terrible shots. Yeah, so that's about that. I'm going to focus on not drowning. Enjoy your sailing. I'll see you on the oceans and maybe even in the clan. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe give us a subscribe, keep up to date with the various bits and bobs I throw up on my NA channel. And I wish you well. Catch you.